Well, those are all good questions. First of all, I was and I am disappointed that CBC and I couldn't reach agreement. I was very keen to do another season. CBC knew that, so that's just to be clear. I didn't walk away from the show.
Right.
I was very keen to do another season. Then CBC press released that I was gone, which also surprised me because I didn't think it was that big a deal. And I really thought that was the end of my television career. I've never studied acting. I can't memorize lines. I don't understand Shakespeare. So I had no interest really in doing anything else in terms of television. I certainly didn't leave Dragons Den to pursue other stuff. I wanted to continue with Dragons Den. So first of all, I was surprised that CBC wanted to press release that I was gone. And then more importantly, I was surprised by the response in the marketplace. All three networks reached out at various levels to say, hey, if you're interested, let's talk. And I had two production companies say, would you like to screen test for shows that we have in development? And I did. I screen tested both, and we decided to move forward on one of the shows right now. The other show I'm still hoping to do, and that'll be for another time. And I've met with several production companies about doing some stuff in the world of philanthropy that I'm very interested in doing. But again, that's all in production and development. Someone told me the other day that Mark Burnett's telling the world that 90% of all television under production is documentaries and reality TV. Which doesn't bode well for those people who study acting, but it does bode well for people who are playing in the reality TV genre, which is what I obviously am now part of.
Right. So when the offers start coming in, it surprised you too.
Well, I was very surprised because I really didn't think there was anything else for me. There's one television show in Canada that deals with business, and it's Dragons Den, and I thought that that would be it. No, I'm very proud of the fact that I've done 55 episodes with CBC. In terms of the 75 shows that they've shot, I've been involved with 55, and it's the highest ranked 55. I mean, the first 2 years the viewership was 200 or 300, 400,000 people. In the time that I was on the show, it's been running 1 million and now up to 2 million a show. So it's in a league of its own, and it's something I'm very proud of.
Right. Yeah. You was one of the 5 dragons, and now you have your own show. That's a big change.
I have my own show. And when I left the show, one of the things I said was I'd like to challenge CBC and the Dragons to step up the game, because the quality of the background and knowledge of the viewership of the people watching Dragons Den has gone up a bunch. It's not just it's people who are interested in the show. It's just not a novelty factor anymore. Every business school, every engineering school, every law school in the country, as well as trades, I mean, everybody's watching this show at some level. So when I had an opportunity to do my own show, I basically said, as long as it celebrates entrepreneurship or celebrates philanthropy, motivates and encourages people, I'll be interested. And sure enough, it's risky business, as it's called now, interested me.
Right. And when all the business schools, MBA programs use Dragons Den as a framework to simulate and whatnot, you kind of wanted to be focusing on the positive side of entrepreneurship then.
Very much. So what I basically said is, let's hold back on the full business commentary, the pretend rudeness, the gratuitous or theatrical rudeness that comes along. I get that makes great TV.
Yeah.
But I was of the view that we could really use the show to step up the game in terms of celebrating entrepreneurship in Canada. And again, to a degree it does. I just think it could do more.
Yeah, the balance of the heat and light, you want to have some insights too, not just the drama. Yeah. So before we go on to risky business, let me talk about a few deals that you have with Dragons Den. So one of the deals I was really interested in was Uno. Yes. So can you talk about a bit about how's that business now? What's your involvement?
Sure.
Originally it was 5 dragons, and now obviously
we had all 5 dragons were involved on the show. They were all interested. And then as soon as we started due diligence, before we'd even begun, when it was clear that we were going to have to spend some money on due diligence, the other 4 dragons all dropped out. They didn't want to spend money. They wanted the company to do the due diligence. And I said, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I proceeded by myself. So I invested a quarter or a fifth of the amount that was being proposed. So I gave them $250,000. We've brought in other investors. I've invested in other rounds. The original Uno has been literally discarded. It's now for the Smithsonian. And we built a second version that had a wheel that slid forward, so the 2 wheels at higher speed. There's a third prototype that's just been finished, and we're bootstrapping for money, but we continue to progress the idea. So I'm still a huge fan of Ben Gulak, and I'm still a huge fan of the whole concept of this unicycle-driven urban transportation vehicle.
Yeah, I think in a show and even in previous interview, your interest is obviously Uno, but Ben Gulak himself as an entrepreneur, as an inventor, right?
Yeah.
Now you have, I think, a few years experience with working with him or like getting to know him.
Yeah.
What's he like?
Ben is maturing.
Mm-hmm.
Ben is learning. Ben is becoming even more creative than he was in the first place. So, no, he is still a very passionate young entrepreneur and someone that we're delighted to be associated with.